Most traders think the top sell consistency rule decides how well their combine will go. But that's not true. You can actually control it if you know how to pass your top sell combines the right way. So in this video, I'm going to show you my own strategy to help me pass over 20 combines, get a $3,000 top step combine in 1 week, and help other traders in my community pass fast as well. We're going to look at why most traders build their accounts, the exact strategy I use to pass top step combines in just 2 days, and the simple math behind the strategy that helps me to do it in just 2 trades. And by the end, you're going to know exactly where to focus your time to get the best results. To start, you must first understand why traders approach the combine the wrong way and fail as a result. And the best way to think about this is that passing a top sell combine is like building a house of cards. The thing that matters the most is that bottom row, because if you screw that up, the whole thing collapses. So how does this relate to top step? Well, there's a ton of awful advice on YouTube telling you to trade combines with one stupid simple strategy. But that doesn't work like that, because your strategy is your middle row. See, the bottom row, the part we build on, is where you control your mindset. That's the foundation that determines whether you pass your account or blow your combine. So this is how I pass combines in a way that's helped me pull out a $3,000 top step payout in just 1 week. And it all starts with step 1 on the bottom row. So let me tell you my story and all the problems I went against while trying to pass top step combines. My friend and I would chill in a Discord chat all day. And one day he just told me about top step combines and how it's only $50 to get started. I could join the challenge, pass that same week, and start pulling out payouts quickly. And of course I replied, that sounds way too good to be true. But he kept explaining it, and I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and give it a try. So I bought a Tesla combine, and in my very first attempt, I ended up passing. I got funded on a Wednesday, and by Thursday and Friday, I ended up passing 2 more combines. The first combine ended up paying me $3,000 after I ran it up to $6,000 in just 5 days. But shortly, I ended up blowing all 3 accounts, because after running it up to $3,000 and getting that payout, I felt invisible. I completely lost my patience. I was stuck chasing my high, constantly spending $200, buying combines back to back and blowing through them. But that's when it hit me. I didn't need another combine. I needed control. So I stepped back, rebuilt my structure, my strategy, and worked on being patient. And that's when I got funded again and the payouts followed. So to avoid blowing up like I did, here's the fix. First, define your strategy before you buy the combine. For me, it's 4 steps. Step 1, a new higher high or lower low. Step 2, a pullback to the 13 EMA, followed by step 3, a wick rejection off the 13 EMA. After that, step 4, I need a break of candle at that rejection candle. If all 4 aren't there, I don't enter. Second, break down the math. Figure out exactly how many points you need to hit the $3,000 profit target. For me, it's 5 points for 3 gold contracts to hit $1,500 a day. Third, set a daily loss limit. My rule, $1,000 on combines and a $400 max loss per funded account. Because the second you start revenge trading, it's a guaranteed loss in the future. By the way, if you're struggling to pass your top step combine, you can join my MTF community, where I personally help traders pass their top step combine while trading alongside me. The link is the first one in the description. So now we move on to step 2 of our house of cards, the strategy itself. Because once you know exactly what strategy to trade and know when to walk away, you stop blowing accounts and start getting payouts. So my strategy is quite simple. I only trade gold, and I follow a strict 4-step rule that forces me to wait for A+ setups only. And when all 4 line up, I have an 80 to 90% win rate. Now the goal of this strategy is simple. We want to pass the top step combine in just 2 days in less than 90 minutes per day, because we want to avoid over trading and blowing accounts, which almost always happens if you just sit there and trade all day long. So to start, you're going to be at your desk by 9:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Select the 1-minute chart and set your 13 EMA inside trading view. To do that, open the chart and go up to the top where it says indicators. Click it, and in the search bar, just type EMA. Then click on it once, and you'll see a curved line appear on your screen. Now, to change it to 13, move your mouse over the EMA label in the top left corner. Click the little settings gear, and when it says length, type in 13. You can also change the color or make the line thicker so it's easier to see. Now you got your 13 EMA set up, and that's the line we're going to wait for price to pull back before we enter our trades. Step 1, a new higher high or lower low created. The first thing I need to see is price make a new higher high or a new lower low. If the price moves above the last high, that's a new higher high. If it drops below, that's the last low, and that's a new lower low. It basically tells me that the market has picked a direction. This is called break of structure. So if I see the price push up and break that high, I know the buyers are in control, and I'm looking for a long setup. Now I wait for a pullback. A pullback is when price comes back toward where it came from, instead of running straight up. And I'm waiting for price to pull back to the 13 EMA. EMA is the exponential moving average. It's just a curved line on the chart that shows me the average price over the last 13 candles. You don't enter the trade right after the big move. Wait for price to come back down or up until it touches that EMA line. That's where you might look to enter, because often After touching that line, the price bounces and keep moving in the same direction. So on my screen, you'll see that line. That's my 13 EMA. After the price breaks to a new high, I'm waiting for it to come back down and touch this line. That's my pullback, and that's where I'm getting ready to enter. Step 3 is the wick rejection. So what's a wick? Every candle has a body and the wick. The body is the thick part, and the wick is the thin line sticking out of the top or bottom. A wick rejection means price touched the 13 EMA, tried to push through it, but then rejected and closed back above it. That wick tells me buyers or sellers are defending that level. So look at this candle right here. Price came back down, touched the 13 EMA, created this little wick at the bottom, then closed back up. That's a wick rejection. Once you get that rejection candle, you don't enter immediately. You wait for confirmation. When that candle closes, watch the next one. For a long, enter when the next candle breaks above the high of the rejection candle. For a short, enter when the next candle breaks below. Finally, your stop loss goes below that swing low or below that wick if you're going for long. Above that swing high if you're going for a short. And then you put your take profit, which varies depending on when you're trying to pass your topstep combine. That's how I got that $3,000 payout. So now we move to the top of our cards. Step 3, the math. You need to understand the exact numbers you need to hit every day, because without that, you'll either overtrade or trade too cautiously. And this is how you do this. For me, I know I need $3,000 total to pass the combine, and it's split across 2 days to respect the 50% consistency rule. So I'm aiming for $1,500 per day. Now, I trade gold with 3 contracts, so I aim for 5 points per trade. Each point on gold equals $100 per contract. So I aim for 5 points times 3 contracts times $100 equals $1,500. On day 1, I hit $1,500. Day 2, I hit another $1,500. That's a total of $3,000. The target reached, the combine passed, and now I'm funded. Now maybe your setup gives you 7.5 points, so you go for 2 contracts. 7.5 points times 2 gold contracts times $100 still equals $1,500. Now if you don't want to go for $1,500 in just 2 days, lower your risk to $1,000. 3 setups, 3 perfect trades, and you're funded. When I was scalping, I had 3 gold contracts aiming for 2.5 points, 4 scalps, $750 per trade, and just like that, I was finished because it adds up fast. Once you reverse engineer the math around your setup, passing combine stops becoming some unclear goal and becomes a simple equation you can solve. Now I know what you're thinking. What if I don't want to risk $1,500 per trade? Can I still pass in 2 days? And the short answer is yes. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to pass my 50K topstep combine in 2 days, taking only 2 trades, taking only 2 setups with only 2 contracts. Watch this next video where I'll walk you through the scalping method and multiple real examples.